a lot of feelings that I have towards certain situations and the way I conduct myself in certain situations are definitely derived from being a product of my environment. See, there's a lot of things that parents don't understand, right?
Tell him, boy, I think I might claim you. Put my number in your phone, nickname you. It's Brianna, if you ain't know my name, like Alicia. Still he told his ex-bitch, bye Felicia. Hit Jordan and ship you a couple kicks.
And every decision that you make as a parent, every single decision when you have a child, really affects that child, really is an impact on that child's future. Like, there's specific instances that I know that my mum was in, and there's specific instances I can see that my dad was in, where they thought of themselves, and I don't think they think about that stuff. Parents don't think like that because they always feel like they know what's best. But once they do what's best for them, they don't know that it impacts us in the long run. If you're not fundamentally there for the reasons when you're really meant to be there, and showing the love and support and the care that you're meant to show, and protecting your child from certain things, then I definitely believe that you're definitely doomed to have a child that's gonna incur problems later. So there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know how to face, and there's a lot of things that there's choices that I've made that I definitely know are my parents' fault, because, like, my dad was abusive to my mum, right? And even though I don't ever hold him accountable for it, I mean, it's so bad because I really should hate my dad. Like, I really should dislike my dad, like, but I don't. It's just, you know. But what I realised, as much as he was abusive and stuff like that, my mum allowed it. And she allowed it because she was still there. And I don't think, if parents think that you should stay in abusive situations because of the kids, it's, you know, I just think that's ridiculous. But she allowed it, and because she allowed so much and we lost so much because of her allowing that, now when I started dating, I decided to proper live my life and proper explore my sexuality. And when I decided to come out, the first man I met was a replica. I mean, sorry, not the first man. The first relationship that I ever got into, and was my last at that point, was a replica of my dad. I walked straight into someone that was a younger version of my dad, and I didn't even acknowledge it. I wasn't even looking for it. I never even knew anything to do with that until after, when I was analysing things, and then I just realised, fucking hell, I have been out with my dad. And I don't mean it in a disgusting, so some people are so stupid they won't get that. They mean it, and I mean it in the sense that how negative he was, how belittling he was, how abusive he was. And not to say that he wasn't physically abusive of me. He raised his hand, but he wasn't physically abusive. But he was mentally and definitely emotionally abusive. And I walked into a man that was like that. And I feel like those little traits of not me knowing, of me allowing certain things in people, definitely derived from what my mum tolerated from men. If my mum was a stronger woman and tolerated stuff, I would have picked up stuff naturally that would have made me that would have made me less tolerant to bullshit and to people abusing me as a person. And yeah, basically, a lot of the issues that you do have are down to your parents. Because as much as I went through as a person, I never turned to drugs, I never turned to drink, I've never been to prison. You can only make that lifestyle and those people accountable for so much, because at the end of the day we all have choices, and you choose to make choices in life. And if you choose to do that stuff, you can't blame anyone for you doing that stuff and going down those paths, because there's other ways that you can be dealing with stuff. And if you don't know that and you don't have the tools to do that, listen to what is inside you and know what right and what wrong is and what you don't want to turn out like. Because despite everything I've gone through, I've never been down any of those paths. Not to say that I haven't made bad choices, because believe in me, I have made some seriously awful decisions in life, in every aspect of my life. And I definitely know that where if I had a better support system at home, or if I had more support in general from the people that mattered, then my life would have been a lot more differently now. Absolutely. But I never I never went into being promiscuous. I never. There's certain stuff that people do and they like to blame other people for it, but those are choices. That ain't natural causes of you harboring hurt, because when you're hurt, you know you're hurt, and you can either have a choice to get over that and mend that yourself, or keep blaming and hurting everyone in general for years and years to come. That's your own choice. You know, you can either run away from the issue or sit down and solve it. And sometimes with people it's really painful. But if you want to heal, then you have to do that for yourself. Because that doesn't only make you a better person in general, it just makes you a worthy person. There's so much more that is there for you, you know. Life is so precious, and we can't keep you can only allow yourself to hurt so much before you start to be like, you know what, fucking hell, I've got to move on, I've got shit to do, I've got a life to live. Yeah, a lot of us wasn't raised and wasn't treated the way we should have been treated as kids, and wasn't shown the respect we shouldn't have been shown, and wasn't loved the way we should have been loved, and didn't have support the way we should have had it, and wasn't encouraged the way we should have been encouraged. But you're here now, and you're an adult, and even if you're not an adult, you're someone who's worthy enough to make decisions for themselves. And you can either be that person who harbors that hurt and who's always blaming people and never allowing yourself to elevate in life, or you can just look at it as, you know what, that was then and this is what I want for me now. You wasn't the best mother, you was not the best father, but I'll be damned if I can't be the best me that there can be. So, as much bad choices that people would have made in your life, this is a time for you to really put you first and be selfish and go for what you want and be the biggest support system that you've ever had in your life. Because there's one thing in life that's really hard, and it's not having support. And being your own support can be so frustrating at times, because it can be so lonely, and then you just need that extra encouragement, and sometimes you can't always give that to yourself. But that is when you really need to have some faith in the Most High, honestly. When you don't have support, really pray, because it really helps. But it's always good to acknowledge what you've been through and turn it into positive experiences. That's why I like YouTube, because it's an outlet. Have an outlet, you know. Don't harbour that, because it makes you a really hateful person. And it hurts. Harbouring pain and not dealing with it hurts. And it's unfair for good people to come into your life and you to still take advantage of those good people just because of the pain that you're going through, and you want someone else to feel it because you haven't yet solved that pain inside. You haven't yet found a cure for your own self. So everyone that comes into your path is a target and is going to get hurt the way that you was hurt. You can't live your life like that. So I mean, like, we often go through life and don't hold people accountable for how they treated us. You know what? Yes, you wasn't the best parent. Yes, you wasn't the best father. But you know what? I'll be the best me. And that's all I can be. Don't be that hateful person, that person that is always using their past as an excuse. That person is always using a lack of this and a lack of this and lack of this to fundamentally justify your failures now and how you are, and the fact that you don't want to be in a relationship, or the fact that you hurt so much that you want everyone else to hurt, or why would you allow that to affect the life that you should be living for yourself? I never understand why people do that. They always got stupid, well, I've been hurt before. Yeah, we all fucking been hurt, and we will continue to be hurt every single day. Jesus Christ, do you not think I was hurt when my phone wasn't on? I was hurt, but what am I going to do? You know, everything in life is how we take it. Everything is a learning curve, and you're only going to get the lesson if you're prepared to learn. If you're open to learning, if you're open to change, if you're open to not always blaming, but taking some accountability, because the only accountability you can take for your parents not doing a good job on you is the fact that now you can do a right job on yourself. And if you're not doing a right job on yourself right this moment that you have for yourself, and you continue to keep doing bad and treating people like shit, there's not many people that you can blame for that. You can't blame anyone for that besides you. So a lot of people really need to learn to take accountability for the way that they are and the choices that they make now. And don't live so much in the past, because you keep living in the past, you will never ever be able to see the beautiful future that is in front of you. And that is for sure. So yeah. Love you guys, and I shall see you at another time, okay? Maybe tomorrow, maybe another day, okay? But I shall see you another time, another time, another time, another time.